Yes, so we're back again. So if you're watching this, remember to press that subscribe button because we have a phenomenal guest with us today. So make sure you're ready. You saying, TC, how you doing? You right?
I'm good, bro. I'm all good.
Good, man.
I'm all good.
Good.
Happy to be here. Finally.
Yo, I'm happy that you are here, man. Let's tell them about that story about last week in the Mirror.
Straight away.
No, straight in there,
Straight
bro.
into it. Yeah, we dropped a mirror, bro. We dropped a mirror. We had it delivered probably 5 days and it got broken. Yeah,
Do
straight
you
away.
believe in bad luck or?
I don't, all my clients are saying it, 7 years bad luck and all this. It's the first time I heard that, I was like, what's this?
Never heard it before.
And the thing is, I had some bad luck last week as well. Cutting my fingers and I was doing all sorts. I fell off a ladder.
Mad.
Bro, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
So maybe it is linked in it.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe.
Isn't it meant to be like three bad things?
Three bad things happened last week.
No, was it all three?
Yeah. Well, the mirror was first, and then I dropped off a ladder.
Yeah.
And then I cut my finger doing something as well. So
done. Nah.
that's it.
So let's just give the people a bit of background on you, bro. So I know a bit about you. So we can see the hard work that you've been putting in over the years in fitness.
Yeah.
Now, I want to bring it right way back to the beginning. Like, what was childhood like for you?
Childhood was good, bro. I had a very good upbringing. Parents both supported everything I was doing. Definitely my mum as well. She, she worked like 2-3 jobs most of the time, bro. And she was at uni as well. She was. When I look at kind of my inspiration, my mum's definitely my inspiration, bro, for how hard she worked and everything she did. And I think for me, that's what I try and install in my son as well. I don't want to ever show him any weakness as well. Sometimes, even if I'm struggling. So I had a very good upbringing. The only negative thing on my upbringing was obviously situation with my brother growing up. But I don't know.
So what happened there when you?
I was 8 years old, and I just remember literally going to bed one night. Obviously, I knew my brother had some. He was in and out of hospital and stuff. He was my older brother, and literally, I just remember sirens literally in my bedroom window. I remember my mum screaming, and I remember coming downstairs, and my mum was telling me, go upstairs. My brother was just lying there on her lap. And I remember just going up to, because I was the youngest out of all my brothers. So I remember just going upstairs and my older brother, who's 2 years older than me, probably one of my closest brothers. He was we were just sitting there, just waiting to kind of find out what was going on. And then, my brother passed away in it. So in my mum's arms, it was a tough time, man, for the family, man. I think I was so young, I didn't kind of process it at that time.
When do you think that you processed it then?
The maddest thing, the first time I properly processed it was probably about 3 to 5 years ago. It was during lockdown, actually.
Yeah.
Having said that, so my mum phoned me upset. She couldn't come down because she used to live in London, so she couldn't come down and on Christmas to put flowers on his grave. So she asked me to go and do it. So I was like, yeah, I'll go and do it and whatever. And it's the first time I've actually been to the grave by myself.
Okay.
And I sat there and I started tearing up straight away. It's the first time I've actually felt probably any emotions about the situation. So it was tough, man. But I think probably because I was so young at the time, I bottled everything up and I didn't really know how to express myself. But that was the first time I actually really hit home because he's buried next to my granddad as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they both got like graves right next to each other, and then my cousin's right behind that as well.
Wow, bro.
So it's mad. Like we brought the whole plot, and there's a few family members around there, man. So it was tough, man.
Yeah, man, that's heavy, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's really heavy, man. To carry that at the age of 8 and to not maybe be able to understand it at 8 is another heavy burden as well. And then to see your mum like work 3 jobs and also carry that. Like, I don't know how I would work through that. And I'm a massive believer in you go through what you can go through. And that's not for me to go through. Like, I couldn't have handled that, but I'm 100%. Glad that you were able to handle that.
And the thing about that as well is as you get older as well, you understand that. I know my mum was putting on a brave face as well. But as a child, I never ever seen anything but happiness from her, do you know what I mean? But as an adult, you realise, she was definitely...
Do you think that you put on a brave face towards your children as well then?
I mean, I probably would say, yeah. I don't want to show any weakness to my son. And I always want him to kind of grow up in an environment which he feels is just positive. I don't ever want to show him any weakness. I don't want to ever show him that nothing's not possible. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the way my mum brought me up as well. Is she always showed me that everything's still possible, no matter what goes on in life. There's always kind of light at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? So
do you think that if your mum was to break down in front of you while she was going through this and you were going through this, that would have been a level of weakness?
Probably, yeah, probably, yeah. I think there's no harm in obviously showing weakness, but I think because my mum never show me that side. I think that's maybe why I kind of bottle a lot up inside as well. Maybe that's where I get it from. I just kind of get on with things and I just keep my head down. Do you know what I mean? So,
and you feel that that's what works best for you?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking about this last week. I can't remember the last time I cried, and somebody was asking me, and I was saying, when was the last time I cried?
How do you feel about that?
Sometimes I feel like I need to cry sometimes when it comes to situations, like even sometimes funerals. Like sometimes I feel like I need to. You know, my client passed away.
Yeah, so
last year, that was one of the times I cried. But that felt like the first time in ages where I had cried.
You posted that recently, didn't you?
Yeah, it was an anniversary coming up as well. So that was a very tough time just because of how close she was to me. Do you know what I mean? So, but before that, I just bottled everything up, man. I don't really show a lot of emotion. Do you know what I mean? So
do you think that if we dived deep into there, that we would find some level of a bucket full of emotion?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Does that scare you or not really? Because the reason why I'm jumping on this now is because when you told me that you went to see your brother's grave on your own, when we dived into there and you were there, you know, you broke down. So this is why I'm very intrigued to see that if you were on your own and you had to look into yourself, how would you face that if you've always wore a mask?
Yeah, I think that's what it is for me, man. Like maybe behind closed doors, maybe that's a different thing for me. But I think in person and when I'm around people, I try and be as strong as possible because I think people look to me for strength in it. I've always kind of been that kind of, I wouldn't say leader, but somebody that people look up to.
Definitely a leader.
Well, a leader in some respects. And I think that's why I often don't show weakness a lot of the time. But when I'm alone, maybe that's where it probably will come out.
And how often are you alone?
Very rarely.
So then how can it come out?
That's the thing. That's probably why I bottle it all up in it. So.
Okay, cool. Very deep, that wasn't it?
I know, man.
Dived in there. I'm like here trying to get like my Coca-Cola with a little bit of a laugh on, but okay, cool. So a lot actually went on there, really, didn't it? Okay, let's move things forward. What was like school like for you? Was you like academically smart? Was you like into sport from young?
Yeah, quite smart, I would say. Got all my GCSEs. I got mentored in school, actually.
Really?
Having said that, yeah. I still speak to my mentor now. He came to my opening.
Easy.
Big shout out to Herman, man. He's a big inspiration in my life, man. But yeah.
How long was you mentored for?
From year 10 to 11. So like 2 years.
Decent time, yeah.
2 or 3 years, yeah. I think I started going off the path slightly in school. I've always been very clever, but I just think there was other outside influences. My mum and dad split up at that time, and there was just a few other influences, things around the area that was going on and stuff, and maybe getting involved with the wrong people and whatever. And my grades started to go a little bit down, so they got this mentor in school.
Who enforced that? Was that your mum and dad, or was that?
Nah, school.
Oh, the school did it?
The school did it.
Wow.
Man. The school brought this mentor in, and then they spoke to my parents, and they was like, yeah. And then I think for me as well, because he was somebody that was a little bit younger maybe than what you would kind of envision
as a mentor.
Yeah. You kind of think of this old guy,
yeah.
Out of touch with people, and he was very in touch. He was young, he was black again as well. So I could just relate to him straight away. And he just, thinking about it now, he'd probe as well. He'd just keep probing and asking me questions to get down to the deep, the deep root of things. Yeah, man, it was probably one of the best things that's happened, man. Definitely.
So that's 2 years that you had mentorship for, and it kept you on the straight and narrow path when you were coming off a little bit. I'm actually really shocked that the school did that.
Yeah.
Because like most times when we have people on here or when I conversate with people, 9 times out of 10 they're telling me that the school should have done this. But actually the school have done something great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What school was that you went to?
Hampstead Hall.
Hampstead?
Hampstead Hall, yeah.
Hampstead, where was that, sorry?
Handsworth Wood.
Oh, Handsworth Wood, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a good school, man. Good school.
Love that. Do your children go there now then, or?
My son doesn't go there.
Yeah.
We moved out the area, so we moved up Great Bar. But the good thing about my school is a lot of the pupils actually go back and work there, or they actually have some sort of involvement. I think that also says a lot about the school as well. A lot of the people are proud of the school. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I've got a lot of good memories. I still speak to most of my school friends now.
Yeah.
With the same group in it from the start, and it's so
massive.
It's good, man. It's good.
It definitely shows like how invested you are in relationships, real relationships. Because we've seen that with your mentor, you were invested, even to the point of when you opened up your TC Hub right now, and where you've got, you still invited that mentor there. You still have a relationship. You still have relationships with your school friends. You still have a relationship with your mum, your dad. When we're looking even further back to the people that you're around in school, all of that is still very relevant now. Again, that's very rare.
Definitely, man.
Like, a lot of people say that everyone has a season. And with you, it seems like you've hit the season, but the season is never over.
Never, man.
You know, footballers will have their on season and then they have their off season. And it's really rewarding to see someone who is still invested as they were in the beginning and is still as invested right now. It's a...
You know what it is, bro? Like I try and make sure I pay homage to everybody who's been a big part of my life. Even and I still stay in contact. Like my clients will tell you as well. Like some of my clients who I haven't been, speaking to for years, like who haven't trained with me, for years. I still speak to them quite regularly, or we'll hit each other back up and stuff. Because I'm very grateful for everybody that's come into my life and had a positive impact on what I've been doing. Do you know what I mean? So I always make sure I remember that, man. I try not to forget people, man. You have to, man.
Yeah, you have to, man. Investments, it always comes back, and there's something that says what you sow is what you will reap.
100%, man.
You know what I mean? Is it the other way around? What you reap is what you sow. Yeah. Cool. So let's dive into fitness then. Let's dive into just before fitness. So you've gone to school. What happened after school?
Went to college.
Okay.
And then...
what did you do at college?
So I've done sports, just general studies. Okay. So I've done art as well. It's very creative, yeah. So
let's hear about that then.
Yeah, man. I've always been a drawer, man. That's something I've always been doing, man. Always since.
Do you still do that now?
Still now and again, not as much, but if I got a bit of time, I'll try and do a little doodle here and there, man. But I've always been that creative person, man. Always been into my art. Like all my friends used to do drama, and I'd be like one of the only ones doing art and graphic design. Do you know what I mean? That's always what I've been into, man.
Massive that is. So your side hobby would have been like art.
Yeah. Always, man.
How early did you find that?
From 4 or 5 years old, man.
Wow.
Literally, my mum she'd take me to somewhere and she'd just bring pieces of paper and a pen or some colours and she'd just give it me and I'd just sit on the floor and I'd just keep drawing. And I got so good at it sometimes. You remember Sonic?
Yeah.
I could draw it. Yeah. That was my program. So I could draw him from mind. Yeah. I didn't even have to look at Sonic. I could just draw him from like 4 or 5 years old, man.
What?
And my mum pulled out all the pictures before, man. She was like, here's all your pictures. And I was like, you know what? That's quite good, man. Like 5, 6 years old, you can still see at that age how good they were, man. So I've always been into my drawing, man, and into my artwork.
Mad. So you went to college, you did sport, you went into art as well. What happened after that?
So I went to uni. And done a foundation.
What uni did you go to?
UCE.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bourneville campus. So I went there for a year, and then what happened then? Yeah, so I went there for a year, and basically I was working part-time at another job, and the job basically offered me a position in the marketing suite.
Yeah, okay.
I literally went for a supervisor role, and I don't know why I used to always do it, but I'd always bring my artwork to interviews and stuff. And the woman was just literally looking through all my artwork. She's gone, can I just go out for a second? She's gone upstairs to the marketing suite, and she's come back down. She's like, scrap that. We're going to go for a marketing job.
She changed it straight away.
Flip the script. So I've gone for one job, and she's literally... So I ended up getting that job, and I sat down, I spoke to my mum, and I says to her, listen, I'm going to go uni for like 5 years to try and get this job, or I can just get this job now. I'm in the position. My mum was like, yeah. So I ended up dropping out after a year, man. So, yeah. Wow. So I just done the foundation, didn't actually go on to do the diploma. Worked in marketing for about 2 years. Fell out of love with it a little bit, if I'm honest.
What do you think made you fall out of love with that?
Looking back, I think it was just that place. I think the way they literally, there was no creative side to it. They just literally told you this is what they want.
And that's it.
You've got to you had odd projects where you could do your own little spin on it, but mostly it was just what they wanted. They already had the template set out, and you just literally dragging and pulling stuff into boxes, man.
Did you not think about maybe going somewhere else, or was that never on there? Or was you already...
You know, this company that I was with, I used to love the company, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, I was there for like 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got brought in by my friend, and it was like a call center, but they had different departments. But the place just had really good people. Like, I still chat to a lot of the people from now, like still now, and we still message each other. And so I didn't want to leave the company.
Yeah, invested.
But I just didn't want to stay in marketing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I ended up going into sales from there. Yeah,
was that the same company?
Same company.
So you went from marketing to sales?
To sales, yeah.
And out of the marketing and the sales, which one did you prefer?
I love both of them, you know. Okay. I love different aspects of both of them, man. I love selling. I loved, because straight away I was only doing sales for probably about 3 months before they made me a sales supervisor. So I used to manage my team that I got put on. So yeah, I used to love it, man. I love targets in it. I love that I love that buzz of trying to get the sale, man. I used to love that.
So would you say that, you know, marketing, your experience in marketing and your experience in sales has helped you now?
100%. I think if we look at personal training, it's mostly sales and marketing. That's what it is. And I think I used to sit there and think to myself, if I'd started personal training earlier, I might have been further. But it's kind of everything that's come before it that's made me in the position I am today in it. Do you know what I mean? So I think my advice to people who are getting into personal training is have an understanding of sales and marketing, because a lot of it is selling to people and a lot of it is marketing yourself or a brand, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So without those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Massive statement. That is massive statement. I think more people need to hear that as well. Because everyone's looking at, well, what can my next post on social media be?
Exactly.
Your market's right in front of you.
100%, bro.
And if you can't talk with people, how are you going to help them?
Exactly.
Like, I know so many good trainers, but they can't even conversate with people. And that automatically would put somebody who can conversate with somebody further ahead. And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when we're looking at the product and helping a client, that client needs help.
100%.
And if we know that someone can help them better, then they should be helping them.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Like, so, okay, you've gone through sales, you've gone through marketing. At what point did you say, I'm going to be a PT?
So it was random, to be honest. So I went to another job.
Yeah.
And I literally lost that job, basically. Yeah.
So How did that happen?
So to be honest, I think I was going through a point where I was looking out the window and I was like, I need to get outside. I was just sick of working in that kind of office environment, and I needed to get outside. And I was like, how do I get outside? But I didn't want to quit the job. So I think my performance just literally started going down, and then they were pulling me into meetings about certain things, and I was just making mistakes. And then in the end, there was just like, we're going to kind of have to let you go. They kind of gave me an option to go to a different role, but I was like, I don't really want to do that. There was like, have the weekend to think about it. Sat there over the weekend and thought about what I wanted to do, and I was like, you know what? I want to get into football coaching at the time.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So
did you have any qualifications in football coaching?
Nah, but I was playing football like semi-pro at the time.
Oh, easy,
so,
yeah,
man. So
I was a footballer, Hey, I'm sorry, quick feet, Okay.
Yeah, so I was playing football, and then then what happened? Yeah, so literally I went into football coaching, got my level 2 badges, and then it just kind of went from there. Just literally, I got one of my closest friends. He got me a job in South Birmingham College for the college football team, and then I was there for a little bit, and then they just come to me and says, listen, we've got this personal training course. Do you know anybody who would be interested? And I was like, straight away, me, man. I was like, 100%. Because at that time I was working I was a member at Pure Gym. West Brom.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just a member there, and I used to get so many questions asked when I'm training, because I used to be a little bit bigger than I was now, and I used to do all the bodyweight exercises, like, the calisthenics and all that stuff. So I'm doing like weighted pull-ups with like 3 plates and doing all this stuff. I have all these young lads coming over like, oh, can you train me up and stuff? And I'm like, listen, I'm not qualified, man. You have to go find a trainer. But at that point, literally the opportunity just fell on my lap, and I was like, you know what, I've got to take it, man. So
mad. There's so much like gems you've just dropped there, bro, and I'm not going to skip past any of them. Calisthenics.
Yeah, man.
Mad. How did you fall into that?
I used to watch, there used to be this like YouTube people, man, the Bar Stars groups.
Yeah. Back in the day,
bro. My brother used to get these DVDs, these pirate DVDs, and he'd bring some of the bare, and them used to be there in there, and I just put on the DVDs, and I just got into it, bro. It's just literally, yeah, man.
When you started training, was it straight calisthenics from the get-go? Was it bodybuilding and then calisthenics?
I used to do a lot of, I called it more functional stuff, because I was playing football at the time, so it was a lot of it, body weight was always relevant to what I was training, do you know what I mean? I didn't want to get too big and bulky, because I wanted to stay quite lean from football, and then it just kind of tied in with what I was doing then, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was all good, man.
It's massive, that is massive. Okay, and then we spoke about, you going and getting your qualifications in football. When you did the qualification in football, did you always think from football the next step is personal training? Or was that never in your mind?
It wasn't in my mind, bro. I'll be honest, it wasn't in my mind. I just used to like training. I used to love the gym, innit? I'd be in the gym. I was always kind of on point with my food.
Yeah.
I used to get so many people asking me questions. I considered it to an extent, but I never took it seriously. And then when they asked me the question at college, and those are the people that I was working with, I was like, you know what, put me down. I was like, here's the opportunity, man, put me down.
And was it a apprenticeship? Was it a college course? Was it online?
It was a college course. It was like 2 evenings a week. Yeah. I was already working at the college anyway.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I was already there like 2 days a week anyway. So just literally just went straight there.
So what happened after that then? You've done your course. What happened next?
So I'm just sitting there and I'm just preeing everyone in the gym. I'm just training. I'm doing my course.
Is that Pure Gym still?
Pure Gym, I'm a member. And I'm just watching everything. I'm saying to myself, listen, when I come in this place, I'm gonna smash it. I'm gonna hit the ground running. Because it looked to me, and this is no offense to anybody at the time, it looked like everybody was just lazy, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can come in here and I could clean up here. Yeah, I could do my thing in it. So that's what I did. I literally came in and just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started telling all the members, listen, I'm going to be a PT here. So if you have any training, this is before I was even qualified, bro. Yeah. So all of them, I had already a few clients kind of already in the pipeline, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
it's massive, that is, man. Massive. Great. It's a great way of marketing yourself. You know what I mean? And because you're very confident in marketing, even before you're even in that industry as such, or in that place of work, you already knew the correct formula to put yourself in a great place. Away, man. It's massive, that is. So you're now working at Pure Gym. Well, what do you think, like, your non-negotiables? If you have like 3 non-negotiables, what are they when it comes to TC Fit? What are your 3 non-negotiables?
What, is in the branding, or as to me as an individual
I would say
trainer?
You was individually first.
My non-negotiables, just laziness, bro. That's one of my non-negotiables. I've got this kind of, I probably had it for the last 5 or 6 years, man, where I'm just kind of got this fear of wasting time. I don't like to procrastinate on things in it. So if I say I'm going to do something, I try and make sure I do what I say. Do you know what I mean? So just being lazy, bro, that's one of my main things at the moment.
Do you think that stems from your childhood with your mum?
Yeah.
Because, one of the biggest things that you've said so far today is, Sam, like, my mum worked 3 jobs. That, bro, you know how hard that hits, bro.
And my dad as well, bro. My dad used to, he used to come in. I've got visions like of my dad, where my dad would come in at 9, 10 o'clock from working 2 jobs, and he'd come in and my mum would have to put dinner on the table. And I just kept seeing this. Do you know what I mean? So I always knew that I had to work hard if I want to get anything out of life. Do you know what I mean? I've always had it in me. It's just it was just about bringing it out. Do you know what I mean?
I know that this is like off topic what I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to dive into it anyway. If working hard is what you've been around from the beginning, well, what happens when you don't need to work hard? Because the reason why I ask this is because we've already established that when you're on your own, you now have to face what's really going on inside of you, okay? And we've said that when you went to the graveyard, you teared up and you got in yourself. And I've asked you, how often are you on your own? And you say, not that often. What happens when you have built this monster even more than what it is now? And then you can be like, okay, I'm going to step back. Will you step back? Won't you step back?
I think that's probably one of my weak areas in it. I think it's not even that I'm a control freak or anything like that, but I'd like to work, bro. I like to graft in it. That's what I am in it. I'm a grafter in it. So it's kind of a thing where I'd like to say that I need to start. That's one of my weak areas. I need to work smarter as opposed to harder in it, and that's the thing in it. And I've got to understand that sometimes. But I do like to be hands-on. That's the thing, and I need to work on that side. Definitely, that's something I need to work on.
Were you aware of that before?
Maybe not before, but now I'm getting a little bit older. I'm starting to realize that I need to slow down what I'm doing, because I can't keep up this pace for another 5 years, which is one of the reasons why I've opened the hub as well, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I don't want to be that kind of 40-year-old gym, PT who's in the gym 10 hours, 12 hours a day. I don't want to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking of ways of how I can kind of step back and go more into the business side of it, and maybe coach PTs, or maybe do workshops, or do things where I can actually have PTs in the hub, and I don't have to actually necessarily do as many hours as
like
I'm
that
doing
mentorship.
Yeah,
like at school, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people need that as well. Do you know what I mean?
I think everybody needs it. You know what I mean? Like, I've had business coaches, and like I physically couldn't imagine a time where I am not coached. Like, whether it's I have a PT, or whether it's I have a nutrition coach, or whether I have a Thai box. Like, there's always points in my life that I'm always coached by somebody, or somebody keeps me accountable. Do you know what I mean? What's like your friendship circle like? Do you have friends that keep you and hold you accountable?
Yeah, man, definitely. I've got a lot of my friends. They inspire me to do better. Definitely, I've got a lot of my friends are doing quite well as well. So sometimes when I'm looking at them, I'm like, it's good. It's good to ask. Yeah, people look like, even when people ask me, why do I go to Dubai so many times, and whatever, because you built up this network of people, and when you're around certain people, it's not even just the flashy lifestyle, but it's the success that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, all right, then, well, I'm doing well in my field, but am I as successful as I think I am in life? Do you get what I'm saying?
It's interesting, isn't it? Like the Dubai thing. Like, I remember I had a conversation with somebody about this, and they said, you go away all the time, and like you post like you this and you that. And I'm thinking, I actually said to them, I said, yo, I don't even post nothing. Like, because like we've been to Dubai, you've been to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact
you don't post nothing.
You ain't posting nothing. So if they're thinking that you're living the life from the small
snippets,
it's crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
it's just perception, innit?
Perception, bro, is everything. And like I love when people are doing good. The inspiration that you speak of, having a strong friendship with people, a very invested relationships with people as well, and seeing that they are doing good, you are going to measure up against
100%,
them. You know what I mean? Like, if I was around people who are waste man, like, I probably wouldn't be where I am. The same thing would go for yourself. You know what I mean? But as I said from the beginning, from what we've gone through so far, it's very obvious that your mum set that bar.
Definitely.
And your dad also set that bar.
Definitely.
Between your mum and your dad, who do you think you have a stronger relationship with?
Definitely my mum.
Yeah.
Definitely my mum. I think me and my dad, are very alike.
Yeah.
People always tell us.
Yeah.
I think, in certain areas, I think I get my work ethic from my dad.
Yeah.
My mum was a grafter, but she was more of a grafter for maybe other people necessarily. But I think my dad's always been self-made, and he's one of them, man. Come over from Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's he's into properties. He's got multiple properties. Okay. He does all sorts now, and he's somebody I've always kind of maybe didn't want to admit it, but somebody that I kind of looked up to. Do you know what I mean? But I'd say I'm probably closer to my mum, but my dad is more, I'd say, my motivation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does. Okay, cool. So we're now working at Pure Gym West Brom. How was that?
Good experience, bro.
Yeah.
I met some really good people, man. Like I said, built a good client base from Pure Gym. A lot of the clients that I'm still with today, man, are still with me, man. So, like I touched on Sonia, who I lost, met her at Pure Gym. There's a lot of people that are just good people, man. Do you know what I mean? Good people that I've met there.
I remember when JD West Brom was opening. And I was still in Chester, and I remember bare of you like just
jumpy ship in it.
Like walk me through that, bro. Like no one really spoke about that.
The funniest thing is I was in Dubai at the time.
Amari was there.
Yeah, we was out there. Me and
mad.
So me and Amari was out there, and we was just chit chatting. He was obviously going out. He was going to move over to JD and whatnot. And Adrian, the manager at the time, was like, "Come on over. I want." He wants to assemble this kind of Avengers group of PTs to go over to JD. And I was on board. Pure Gym wanted me to stay, and I was on board. But I thought, you know what? One thing about me is I hate doing sideward steps as well, bro. And I did feel it was a bit of a sideward step, and that was probably the first time I've ever done that, because I don't ever leave somewhere unless I feel it's progressive. Do you know what I mean? But it just felt right, bro. I just looked at everything that was going on, and I thought I was a bit of a big fish in a small pond in Pure Gym, I would have said. And when I was going over to JD, there was some good PTs that were there. HD, there was obviously IGR, all the people that was there. And I was like, you know what? I fancy myself. You know what I mean? I fancy myself. It's good to be around these people, man, because you learn stuff as well, and it keeps you at that. I don't want to get complacent as well, which I felt myself slightly getting complacent at Pure Gym as well, man. So I'm like, you know what? I need to raise the levels again. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. Like, I wouldn't say I've done something. I wouldn't say I've done the same, but I've done something similar. When JD Gym Oldbury opened, like we had like this massive bundle of big PTs as well that have gone there, and I said it's very similar to that, man. And being around these PTs every day, bro, it's like golden, bro. Like, because a client could have a problem, and I could like just go to another PT and be like, "What do you think of this?" And they're like, "This is this." Same with them, they could come to me with a problem rather than waiting time, you know what I mean? And that client journey just gets protected and it gets improved so 100%. Much more, you know what I mean? Okay, so we're now at West Brom, JD. What's that like?
Good, bro.
What makes that better than Pure Gym at the time?
I wouldn't say necessarily it was better. I think the equipment and stuff, and the facility itself was a bit more modern, more up to date. I think, with where the industry was going. The members were pretty much the same. A lot of the members came over. I wouldn't say it's any different. I think for me personally, I think it was just kind of, it made me maybe go to the next level in regards to, I wouldn't say on a business perspective, but on a personal level, just upping my standards as a coach, just being around better PTs. I think that was number one for me. I definitely wanted to do. And Liam was also going to be there as well. We teamed up with Liam in it. So
massive, Liam.
And I wanted to work alongside him as well.
Did you know Liam before then?
I knew Liam through his dad. Well, I didn't know Liam. I met his dad from Pure Gym, so he used to be a member there.
Oh, wow.
So me and his dad, we jumped in sessions together and stuff, and we spoke, and his dad was like, his son's been turned away from the army because of an injury and all this stuff, and he's looking to get into personal training. And one thing I look at, and I read a lot of books and stuff, I was reading the Alex Ferguson book at the time, and one of the things he says in that book was kind of touching about people's family backgrounds when he looks at players, their history and stuff like that, and he looks at their backgrounds, and I thought, you know what, Liam, he's come from a good background. I know his dad, you know what I mean? I'd heard, I met his mum kind of briefly, so I was like, he'd be good to have in a team. Got down, sat down with him, and he was, he was.
So before Liam was there, was having other coaches with you always the plan?
Always the plan.
Okay.
Always the plan. And I got to a point where I was so busy personal training wise, I was selling clients, bro. At one point, I was saying to other PTs, I was like, listen, I've got a waiting list of people here. Take somebody, because they're going to go somewhere. They're going to go somewhere. They don't want to sit on my waiting list for too long. So I was like, all right, give me this, and you can take this client. But even a lot of those clients didn't want to leave. Then at the same time, true. You know, they were coming for me. Do you know what I mean? So
that's a massive thing, isn't it? Like when you've got clients that are there, they're there for you. Like one of the things that I had a issue with as well is when I had clients that were there and they wanted to work with me. When I was like, here you go, they still didn't go. Because they've invested in you, they have sought for you, your results, your aura, your experience. They want you, and you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? There's times where I've had calls with a client and I could have charged them anything. They just wanted to work with you.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a value. That shows a lot about your character as well. You know what I mean? Like even my dad always says that he who's made it doesn't have to tell people about themselves. Other people tell other people about him or her. Yeah, and you've got to that point now where that's happening. That is valuable.
Definitely, man.
So you're now at JD Gym, West Brom. You've been there a few years. Was it always part of the plan for TC Hub to have its own place?
100%. From the start, man.
From the start?
From the start, bro. From the start. I've always had that aspiration that I want to open my own facility. That's what I've said. And I think there was a point during lockdown and just before lockdown where I'd gone to a few other facilities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people that I kind of
2019?
knew. 2019. So that just kind of cemented it for me. I was like, you know what? I'm seeing other people do it. I'm like, I can definitely do it, bro. And
so was you looking from then or?
I'd say maybe lockdown, second year lockdown, I was having a little brief look. And then as we come out of lockdown, that first year, I was looking hard. Do you know what I mean? I was looking hard, but I didn't want to make the step because I was scared that we'd go back into another lockdown.
Okay.
So I was kind of 50-50 at that point. I was like, do I make the choice to do it or not do it? And I was kind of like, I held off. But then obviously everything comes at the right time, and it's one of those ones. Maybe I wouldn't have been ready at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that you were ready back then?
I felt ready, but I did feel that I wanted to have one more person on the team. Yeah. That was one thing that I definitely wanted to have, which then obviously Chris.
So how did Chris come into the picture?
So Chris is Liam's sister's boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Weirdly enough. People don't know that. Mad. I knew Chris from Pure Gym. And I just left Liam's house. We'd just done a class. And I'm walking back to my car and I've just bumped into Chris. And I'm chatting to him, saying how's training and whatever. And then we've said bye to each other. I've jumped in my car and I've seen Chris walk into Liam's house. So I'm like, I'm confused. I'm thinking, what's going on there? So I phoned Liam and I've gone to Liam. Why's Chris gone into your house? He's like, oh yeah, he's gone out with my sister. I'm saying, I said, do you think he'd be interested in coming on board with the team? And he's like, to be fair, I didn't think of that, but he'd be really good, whatever. So I said, let's have a sit down, see what his thoughts are, because he was obviously just doing his qualification at the time as well. And he was on board, man. I told him the vision of what we wanted to do. And I says, listen, I think that's what it is with me. I think it's one thing saying certain things, but because he could see the vision from the start and where we was going and the momentum that we had as well, he was on board straight away, man.
Vision is everything, man. Like literally it is everything. Like I remember like when I was working with coaches and I had coaches with me, like I see this vision. Not everyone can see that vision.
That's what it is, man.
And for me, if you can't see the vision, you're slowing me down.
100%.
100%. And I would rather reinvent the game in front of everybody than just fake it and never make it. You know, but that vision thing is so powerful. Like so powerful. Like there was a point where I literally looked in the mirror and I said, what am I doing? Like I know where this monster can go. Like the passion is there, the drive is there, but not everyone sees that vision.
Not everyone sees it, man.
And you got to protect that vision,
100%, man.
Because if you don't protect your vision, it's going to get blurry. And that's why people wear glasses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why should I wear a glass when I can see clear? You know, so I'm a massive believer in the TC Fit takeover.
Yeah, man.
Massive.
That's in there, man. We're
getting there, man. Getting there, you're there.
Yeah, man. There's still places that I want to. You know what it is? I try and remain grounded with it because it's for me, bro. Like we've hit a big milestone in getting the hub, but I'm straight away now thinking of the next challenge. Now I want to open 2-3 of them, or I want to grow. Do you know what I mean? I want to get a bigger hub. Do you know what I mean? So I'm already looking at it. I ain't even had the chance to enjoy it, bro. If I'm being honest, because as soon as we got in there, we've done the launch, and it's like, all right, straight into work now. All right, then how do we now grow to the next stage? All right, I need to get a next member on the team. All right, I need to do this. I need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
So when are you going to take time out for yourself? Or does the thought of that scare you?
I try and take regular interval breaks. Yeah. I like last year I went on 4 holidays. So I take regular breaks throughout the year. But when you say time off, do you mean actually?
What I mean is you alone. Not you and your team or you and your friends or you and your family. When are you going to take time out for you?
I've said about maybe going on a holiday by myself. I want to do that, and I want to do more things on my own. It's just getting around to doing it, bro. Sometimes, and I think I'm setting the foundations to be able to do that now because we've got the systems in place. I don't necessarily need to be there all the time now. So it's getting there, and I think after the next 6 to 12 months, I think I'll be ready to have a bit of me time, man.
Because I need that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in the small conversation we're having, for me, it's screaming, you need that.
100%, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going through your head, but I can see that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, as we look into our clients' lives as well, we can see so much. And it's very hard. Like, I remember I spoke with a few people the other day and I said, you know, it's very easy for me to keep this coach head on, but there has to be a point where I take it off and I look in the mirror again.
Yeah, definitely.
And I look at what's good and my weakness. You spoke about your weakness as well. And at times it can be very difficult to admit that. You know what I mean? Especially as a man as well. You know what I mean? So walk me through that day, that first day. You've got your key. Nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm assuming nobody knows. Maybe Chris knows, or maybe Liam knows.
Chris and Liam knew. Yeah. It was a surreal process, bro, because we almost lost out on it again. We lost out on a few venues before that, and I sat down with my missus and I sat there at the time and I was like, you know what? I felt it at the time because I was like, you know what? I felt like giving up, bro, at one point because it was just like you get turned away and this place says no for this reason, whatever it is. And I thought to myself, shall I just stay at JD? I'm comfortable. I've got my client base, everything else. And then I had to slap myself in the face and say, bro, this ain't for me, man. It ain't for me. So we just went back to the drawing board, literally applied for this place. Literally, I was in the middle of a session. I got an email come through, checked my emails. They said, go, this is the place. Looked at it, it fit the bill. And I thought, you know what, let me go down and book it in. We applied for it, but then we got turned down about 2-3 times by planning permission, for various reasons by the council. And it got to the deadline day, literally. I think it was like December the 20th, 5 days before Christmas. And there was like, this is the day where we have to know. And I've told the landlord and I've said to him, listen, I'll know by this day whether it's a yes or no, because he's obviously waiting for a decision from me. And yeah, literally, we just got the email through to say, listen, congratulations, man. And I was driving at the time, seen the email come through. I thought, let me pull over. And I'm taking deep breaths. I'm sitting in the car thinking,
yo, hey.
Can it go either way? It was either going to be big disappointment or happiness. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you didn't open the email? Yeah,
I didn't open the email. I just pulled over and I sat there for about 30 seconds just to get myself together. And I said to myself, listen, either way, we're going to keep going. Yeah. Open the email. I just seen congratulations. And I just dropped it straight away. I dropped my phone. I was like,
I got
literally, it was mad. And I just done a big scream in the car, man. I was like, yes, literally hitting the steering wheel.
Come on, man.
Somebody watching me must have thinking, this is mad. What's going on here? This lunatic, yeah. But got the go ahead, and then got the keys straight away from the landlord. And then it was literally, I said to myself, I'm going to give myself 4 weeks to open this place, bro.
Wow.
4 weeks, bro. 4 weeks. Because I wanted to open on the 1st of January. I was supposed to get the keys on the 1st of December, but it got delayed because we got refused planning permission. So I says by February the 1st, I want to get in this place.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, bro. Literally. I don't know how I've done it. I think literally that was the most stressful part of this whole process, man.
So did you already have the contacts for everything else lined up?
Yeah.
But 4 weeks is a...
But because I had all the contacts because obviously I've been planning this for like 2-3 years, bro. So I've had everything that I wanted to do and all the vision. We spoke to Primal, got the drawings and all the stuff done for their little plug for Primal there as well. So everything was pretty much ready to go. But then even the financial situation as well, when you actually put the money into it, you realize that everything's out of budget, bro. Like you budget £100 or £500 or £1,000 and it's doubles in price. So even the money situation, I'm like, bloody hell, things are just, getting out of control. So we had to do some of the work ourselves as well. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not a handyman at all. So I'm having to learn to do things that I've never done. I'm watching YouTube videos and stuff, and even painting. I've never properly painted before, bro.
I think YouTube's like such a useful tool now.
100%, man. Technology's mad.
Mad, bro.
Mad, man. It's literally crazy.
Like, literally, it's like mad crazy. Like,
yeah.
there used to be a radiator here. Remember? There used to be a radiator here, bro. Yo, man plumbed it out, bro.
Yeah. You can find how to do everything,
YouTube, bro.
Yeah, literally.
It shocked me.
You can build anything from YouTube, and that's why I sat there and thought, you know what? I can do some of it myself, because we got quoted on the painting as well. The best quote we got for painting was £5,000.
Oh.
And I was sitting there, I was thinking that £5,000 can go to
Something
this
else.
piece of equipment or this or anything else. So I'm like, we got to do it ourselves, man. So we spent literally,
Massive.
I think we spent 12 hours one day painting, bro, from 12 till 12 at night. Literally, it was a full day. We got food, we had flipping food, we had to get Tim Hortons and literally get the food in and whatever. And by the end of the day, I was shattered, man. But I was like, you know what? We're getting somewhere. we're getting somewhere. And it had to get done. We had no choice, man. And I'm doing this around all my clients as well.
Man.
And being a father and trying to do all this stuff, man, was stressful, man. It was stressful.
When we talk about true intention, like, bro, this is for you. This was 100% for you.
Definitely, man.
Like, and again, I'm a massive believer in, like, every corner needs to be touched.
100%.
You need to be able to walk into something that is yours and say, I did that. Not someone else did that.
Yeah, definitely.
You have got your hands in every single wall. You know how powerful that is?
Yeah, of course, man.
You know what I mean? It's mad, man. That vision, 4 weeks. That's out of all of this, that 4 week, that's got me, man.
I shot myself. Yeah, it's only when I sat back and thought of it afterwards, I thought to myself, I should have given myself more time. But literally, I just said it. I have to get it done, bro. I have to get it done. That was the plan.
It's got me, man. I can't lie. That 4 weeks has got me, man. I don't know anyone who'd been able to turn something like that around in 4 weeks. Around the clock.
And I didn't think it would get done. There was points where I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to give myself more time. But you just get it done, bro. It's just one of those ones, you just get it done in here.
So, like, what is it like waking up every morning and turning the key?
It's surreal, bro. It's surreal. You know what it is? It's because we went a while without the logo being on the wall.
Mad.
So that literally, we only got the logo like literally probably a week or 5 days before it opened. And then it came and it was the wrong size. And we had to put this back on it as well. So that got done actually on the morning of the opening. So until I had the logo on the wall, it just didn't feel like home for some reason, because I couldn't see my branding. I just had this vision of you walking into the gym and my logo's at the back of the gym. Yeah. And literally until that logo was on the wall, that's when it felt like, yeah, this is it now. This is the moment. Even though everything was in, had all the equipment and all the flooring, just everything was in. The logo, I had to have the logo on the back wall. So I walk in and that's my visual point straight away. And that's where it just felt surreal. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it feels good, man. It feels good, man. It felt good.
It's big, man. Walk me through the open day. So now was it the mayor that you had there?
No, so we were supposed to get the mayor there on that day, but he couldn't make it that day. So even that, we had to change the plans of what we wanted to do. But you know what it is? I had so many family and friends, everybody there, man. I was just like, you know what, we're going to make it a good day. And I just wanted it to be good vibes, man. I just thought, you know what? This is what we've worked so hard for. And what was good about it is that every single person that was there had a direct part in it. And they don't realize they had a direct part in it. And I said this to them on an open day, like every person here has had a little impact on this place. Like it's for everybody. Like, you know, even a conversation that they've had with somebody about me, or, you know, they've worn my top in public, or, you know, they've spoken to somebody else about me or anything. Do you know what I mean? Or they've trained with me. I had a lot of clients there, or whatever it is, family members who have helped me out, you know, motivated me. So every single person just played a part in it, man. And it just felt like it was just meant to be, man.
Massive, man. Like that vision of now you waking up every day for your own place rather than waking up for JD. It's two different. It's
priceless, bro. It's priceless. You can't put money on it, bro. That's the thing. To be able to come and go as you please and do things how you want to do it is you can't put money on it, man.
Do you think that this is one of your best achievements so far?
Yeah, definitely. The pinnacle. Obviously, we've done events where we've had hundreds of people there, and that's also felt big, but as far as the brand and everything that we've worked towards, this is by far the biggest achievement that we've done, because people involved know how hard it is, and anybody who's gone through the process knows how hard it is to actually do it. It's good, it's easy to say it, but when you're actually doing the process, you actually feel like giving up and you think to yourself, I can't do this, man. It's very difficult. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely the biggest achievement, 100%, man.
So in the next 5 years from now, what does that look like? I know that you don't have to say everything from there because you have to protect that vision, but can you throw something out there?
I touched on it a little bit before, but it's definitely about opening more facilities. I mean, for me, obviously the brand's about community, and we're in one community, but I want to have, you know, more impacts in multiple communities. So that's definitely the vision for me, is to have a few more facilities open. That's as much as I can kind of say. We are looking at another place kind of already. It's not anything that's kind of in cement or anything like that. But I'm just kind of keeping my open. Yeah. Because I think you have to keep pushing. You can't rest on my laurels. Even though I've got this one place, I'm not that person that just gets comfortable and says, you know what, I've made it now. I can sit back, and I want to impact every community, and I want to be able to touch each community, because it's not just Sandwell that has issues. You know, there's other areas that need tackling.
Where is the location of your facility right now? Like, where is the direct location?
So it comes under Rowley Regis, Albury. So it's not far from the JD, literally around the corner. So it comes under Rowley Regis. It's local, so it's got good access networks to, you know, public transport, to the motorways. We wanted somewhere which was within 10 minutes of where we was before, which was JD.
Okay.
And that's where I was kind of looking. So I was looking at West Brom, Albury, all these little areas. And it fits the bill. It fits everything, man.
Sounds really good. So, like, what type of services do you offer from there?
So it's a private facility. That's number one. I think that's one of the issues that we're having at the moment is that people are turning up and thinking it's an open or public gym.
Oh, really?
They want to train there. Yeah. Because people don't want to train in public gyms anymore. They're just too busy and stuff. So they come in thinking it's a public gym, but it's a private facility for one-to-one coaching. We do group sessions and we do obviously classes. We're going to be doing more workshops. We got in-house physios and things like that as well. So there's a lot of services that we're able to offer from the one facility. So that's why it's called the hub, because it's a central hub for everything that we want to do.
For a lot of things, yeah. Do you think that you will eventually open it to the public?
We looked at it to begin with. That was the original idea. We said we were going to open it we were going to do it to our clients first of all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we can trust our clients, because we're like, you know what, they're going to come in and not mess around, you know what I mean? So we was going to do just 10, 15 memberships and they can just come and go as they please. But I think there's an importance to, we've seen the impact as well of it being a private facility and the impact it has on the people that come there. And the first thing they're mentioning is, it's nice and quiet and we can just get on with the workouts, and they're getting a lot more value for money as well, because we're able to do more in the sessions now, because we don't have to travel down to the bottom of the gym, or think people, equipment's not being used, or we can share the equipment between us. It's broken, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So there's so many benefits for it to be just a private facility, and I think that is our USP, and I don't want to come away from that. Yeah, so I don't think we will.
Massive.
But we may open another one, maybe, and that might be, exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But in this specific one,
one, it has to be private. I think that's our USP, man.
I love that. So I know that you've got like multiple things. You spoke about physios that are there.
Yeah.
How did that come like a part of your vision? How did that become part of that vision? But the reason why I ask this is because you've already got, you've got TC Fit Chris with you. You've got TC Fit Liam. At what point did you say, okay, I'm not adding anyone else now to TC Fit, I'm going to bring in another organisation?
You know what it is? I'm really big on service, bro. Service, and in however way we want to try and tick every box. So one of the things that we looked at, and when we sit down in our meetings, we say, all right, then how can we tackle people's food? All right, we've got a recipe book. How can we tackle their training? All right, we've got apps and things like that to help them with that stuff. How can we bring the community together? We've got community groups like yourself. And then the other thing that we looked at was obviously those areas where it kind of obviously supports people in, obviously we've got a private space for people to train at now.
Massive.
Yeah, so the physio side of it as well. We had clients picking up injuries, so I'd just refer people on to
make sense
to other physios that I knew. But we sat down and we said, wouldn't it be good to have an in-house physio from a service perspective? Because if somebody then comes and has an injury, the information they can give back and say to us, it's just a next level for clients, isn't it? Again. Do you know what I mean? And actually having them in-house where they can just knock on the door, go in there, get their session, come back out to us. They relay the information of what's causing the injuries and we do the rehab work together. you can't, that type of service, I'm not seeing anybody else kind of do as well.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that we said we have to do, because that room originally was supposed to be our office room.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, we can use this for a physio. Yeah. So I sat down, spoke to the physios, and I was like, listen, let's team up, man. Let's see how we can work together and you know what I mean, break bread together, man.
So, the hub seems like very, very good and warm welcoming. Like, what was the first thing that you put in there?
First thing, bro, was the community room, bro. That was the first
You've got a community room there?
Community room, bro.
What does that look like?
Because I spend a lot of time in coffee shops, so that was the vision that I wanted to have for it. So basically, I wanted a safe space where people could just come. Because I think, like I said to you before, I feel over the last couple of years, I've really started to look into my clients' mental health as opposed to just coming in and just having a good time and escaping from.
So important.
Yeah. So we were having more conversations. I'm diving deep into these sessions and I'm thinking we needed this space to kind of have, for our clients, just to be able to open up and have these communication with me and just kind of tell me how they're feeling. Do you know what I mean?
So important, man. Like literally, I've seen so many clients that have come to me over the years and they have like broke down in front of me. And if it wasn't for spaces like that,
100%, man.
I don't know where they would be.
There's not a lot of spaces like that.
There's not.
And that's what we said about the hub, because it's a private facility. They can come in, get a coffee, sit down. First thing I ask them is, how are you feeling? Wow. Yeah, over a coffee, we just have a little chat. This is before their session. Wow. If they don't want to drink, they don't have to have a drink. We can just sit there, how are you feeling? Have a little catch up with them, and then we go into their session.
Man, so basically what you're telling me is that anyone who has a membership with you gets free coffee?
Free coffee, and a free therapy session as well.
Where do I sign up over here, bro? Yo, the question is, what coffee is it, bro?
It's I've got a coffee machine, bro.
Swear, yeah, but it's a coffee machine. I'm a coffee guy.
You know what it is? I spend a lot of time in Costa in it, so I get the coffee pods from the Costa coffee pods. Yeah, slap them straight in there, man. So
okay,
there it is, man.
You know, over the years, I've seen you work with quite a lot of different people. You know, we've seen your events at West Brom. I saw it, the football. Football ground. Walk me through that. Like, was that always part of the vision as well to hold?
Nah, you know what it was? So I just had randomly a message from the Albion Foundation, and they just basically said that TC Fit is kind of almost ringing in their ears, like they're asking people about fitness and stuff, and people are mentioning TC Fit, which was good to hear. Yeah. So they said, "Can you come down for a meeting?" So I went down there. We went down to the ground. And they said basically that they've got a lot of support with their disability programs, but when it comes to the fitness areas, that's an area that they're lacking, and they want me to kind of almost lead it.
Oh wow!
And I was like, yeah, that's definitely good for the brand to obviously work with West Bromwich Albion. Yeah. And they told me what they can offer me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really in it for the financial. If you can offer me more of a marketing, obviously because I'm from marketing, so it's like if you can give me a marketing budget, or actually look at advertising and stuff like billboards and things, or get me on a billboard at the game, for me that's invaluable. Do you know what I mean? Which we were able to do. And I knew the money would come later on. That's you know, I don't do it for the money, but it's more kind of the getting the brand out there, isn't it? The growth, isn't it? Yeah.
It's that long game again, man. Many people don't see this long game, and the things that you do now, many people might not understand. People will be like, well, why didn't you get? It was never part of.
It's not about it, man.
Yeah, it is everything. Like, to become great at something, it has many members. The body has to have many members for it to function. You know, my eye cannot do what my foot can do, but my eye has a responsibility or a duty of care to my body.
Yeah, definitely.
And it really seems like from the beginning, you know, from your childhood, that you already were functioning of something that's slightly different from a normal 8-year-old. You know what I mean? At the age of 8, as you spoke about, you were in the process of, you know, seeing your brother deteriorate to the point where he had then passed, you know, and in front of you, you're seeing how your mom's handling it. You're also seeing how your family members are handling it. And you've also still got to show up every single day. To a normal 8-year-old, that could have been the end. You know, when we look at suicide and stuff like that in this day and age, there's children, bro, taking their lives now. You know what I mean? Of things that we would look at that would say it's less than what you were going through at that point. Have you, like, ever suffered with your mental health or anything like that? Or
I wouldn't say personally. I think I've always kind of been somebody who I've always had a good network of people around me. So I've always had, you know, my parents who I can, you know, speak to. Older brothers, I've always been the youngest in it, so it's kind of a thing where I can speak to my brothers, and I've got a good network of friends around me as well. Do you know what I mean? Who I can always speak to and get advice from and stuff. So I've never really suffered from it directly, but I've seen it impact so many people around me, family members, you know, friends and stuff like that as well, you know, clients. So I've always understood how important it is. But I think I've not been impacted by it so much is because of how I saw my parents deal with certain issues, and because of how I've seen them deal with it. I've always thought maybe that's the way I've got to deal with it, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Massive that is, again. Really massive, because as I said, your parents literally can play such a massive role in how your life will form moving 100%. Forward. How about, like, have you always been like this confident then?
Nah, bro. Like, literally, I think I'm quite a confident person in my own ability. I always back myself, but I do always have self-doubts, man. I think that's always a little bit of an insecurity sometimes. I've had to do a lot of work to kind of build and improve in those areas. Man.
What work have you done?
So I listen to a lot of, like, audiobooks, bro.
Massive.
If I'm honest, yeah, audio. I don't read books, physical books, as much as I used to, but audiobooks, I'm always driving, listening to something. And I've always had to train myself just to kind of, you know, just try and think differently and be headstrong, man.
So something that we ask everybody who sits in that chair, Tony, like, you're 35 now. What would you tell the 16-year-old version of yourself?
I'd probably say, bro, not to take life for granted or waste time. I think I can remember being 16, and I can remember being 21, I can remember being 30, and I think how quickly it's gone for me, bro. I'm just like, you know what? You don't want to waste life. You know what I mean? You know, if you've got a goal, you know, just go for it, man. That's the main thing for me. Don't waste life, and just make sure that you're just fulfilling your dreams in it, because you don't know how quick life can go in it. You know what I mean? You're seeing it nowadays that people aren't living to 30 or making it, you know, to even 21.
21, bro.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Literally, life right now is Like, what is life?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Before we were planning on, getting a pension, we'll look at the age of pension now. So, we've gone through quite a lot today. People are going to want to find you. Where can they find you?
We're pretty much on every platform now. So the main platforms obviously are Instagram, so that's TCFit_Tony, or the TCFit Hub page, which we just created. I've recently gone onto TikTok.
Man to TikTok?
TikToker, nah.
So have you done
I don't know what I'm doing, but...
Have you done one of the TikTok dances yet?
No. I do a few cut edits for the kick of the fingers, but I ain't doing no dancing
yet. Yo, we need you to do one.
No TikTok dances now. Yeah. But we're on pretty much everything. So Facebook, we're on there briefly. We're on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, nice.
A lot of our stuff is managed by Naya, who's actually on our team as well.
Oh, nice.
So although she's not able to coach anymore, she does a lot of the back end stuff that people don't realize. So the stuff that I struggle with, man, she manages those things in the communication, all the emails that come into our website as well. So yeah, we've got a website.
What's your website, sorry?
tc-fit.co.uk.
Massive. Well, thank you for the opportunity to share food with you, man. It's a massive insight for me, and I feel very privileged to sit next to a man like you.
No, man, it's been all good, man.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Boss man, every time.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man.